Hi everyone, hi and welcome back to Battle Rap Resume. Thank you so much for listening. As ever, I'm your host Tom Quee. Just quickly, if you want to help support the podcast in any way, please subscribe in whatever way you're listening. If you listen on YouTube, if you listen on iTunes, please check out older episodes as well. Give them likes, give them comments, all that good stuff. We also have a shop. If you want to be really generous and you want to help support the bandwidth costs of the show, you can go onto our Redbubble shop. Just go on redbubble.com and search Battle Rap Resume, all one word. And there you'll find the logo on tons and tons of stuff. You know, on t-shirts, on stickers, on... It's a little cheeky maybe to have merchandise so early on, but the show's been going so well, I figured, why not throw that in there. Also, if you want to follow us at Battle Rap Resume as well, any emails, any feedback, we've had some great emails so far, just people getting in contact, ideas on the show, who they like, what they want to see next and stuff like that. If you do want to get in contact with me, you can get in contact with me at Battle Resume, as I said, on Twitter, or battlerapresume@gmail.com. But today's guest is someone that I, incredibly excited to have on board, not just because the guy is, for someone like Oshea, even the word legend doesn't quite fit. Like it seems like it's not quite up there. And I'm pandering slightly here, but yeah. One of the things that impresses me so much about you, Oshea, and I should say, Oshea, what's up? Welcome to the show.
Oh, welcome to myself.
No.
Nice for being here.
No, great to have you here, man. One of the things that's crazy is, going off Verse Tracker here, so I know that isn't like the official, but it's as close as we'll get, sort of thing. They have you. We're going to get into your debut soon. That was 2008 November. So they have from that time till now, which is what's that about 8 years ish, kind of give or take.
Yeah, around that. Yeah,
98 battles.
There's actually quite a few more.
There must be, yeah.
There, but done quite a few,
Yeah, and the thing is, though, I've had a few people on the show now, and I'm always interested. Whenever we do the tryout battle, I always like to see what the person they faced did next, kind of thing. And a lot of the time, they just kind of didn't battle or whatever, moved on, sort of thing. But a few times they keep battling, but normally they'll be battling on lower leagues. But the thing is, you have kept battling, but you're pretty much headliner, aren't you, still? You aren't like top of the card, but you're there, aren't you?
I'm still doing all right, you know what I mean? I'm not at the top of me, the top of the going for the title type of stuff anymore, but that's past me now, and I know that is the way. My competition game time is over, do you know what I mean? I'm not interested in being the best in the league anymore. Right. I'm gone, I'm not. So everything's just entertainment now, whereas, you know what I mean? Just battles that I like to take and stuff like that.
And so how do we start? The first battle comes out November 2008. You apparently paid for your own hotel. You went down there from Liverpool to Brighton to face Too Easy, this is?
I put on a bit of weight, it's only because your ma's pussy is me fucking dinner plate. Serious. Next time you're sorting one of these out, come and see me if you want to see skill. Ladies, if you want to learn DVD series 301 Hill, it's Too Easy.
Back in the days, I just went down on my own, you know what I mean? Just literally got the National Express and went down to battle. Yeah. This was before Don't Flop, obviously. This was being set up as the first Don't Flop event, so this was before Don't Flop had even started, when it was all sorted out, obviously. But at that time, there was about six people involved, you know what I mean? So there was nobody there. You just used to go down, and there'd be whoever would turn up from that whatever certain place you were in, their sort of hip hop scene, and people who were involved, that people would meet who were battling, but there was literally nothing. Do you know what I mean? It would just be going on your own to a city.
And how did you find out? Were you into rap? You were into rap before battle rap, and that came kind of logical.
With the Don't Flop, obviously all the stuff, like the jump off stuff, I used to watch all that stuff, and I used to rap in Liverpool, and we used to do battles in Liverpool before Don't Flop came along. So when the first World Rap Championships came around, the quality was dead good. So we thought, we'll leave the next year and try and go in for the next year after that. But then the next year came around, the 2007s, and there was 3 or 4 good teams, but the rest were pretty poor. And then we were thinking we should have actually went in for that one. And then by the time the next year came round, that had disbanded, and then it was Don't Flop. So that's how it went in. But it was because Air was, after the World Rap Championships, Air was on the forums and that, saying he was starting the league. So because we were interacting through the forums, and that's how I got involved straight away from the start of Don't Flop. Right.
And this is against Too Easy. This is pretty much the first Don't Flop battle, isn't it? This is kind of what it's accredited to.
Fair enough. I think there was a few before it, but they never ever came out on camera. That was the first recorded one that came out on YouTube. Like,
yeah, exactly. This is Don't Flop 2 in Brighton, like you say. Yeah, so there was a Don't Flop 1, I imagine, but I mean, you know, who knows? Yeah, and it opens quite weirdly. Like, you know, we're so used to battles opening now. Like, I just finished watching your Lunacy battle before we started the phone call, and like, you know, fucking hundreds of people and Twitter and all this ministry. But this is just a little like underpass, like underneath a hotel, and you just see everyone walking down at the start. It's quite unusual, really. Coming into this, was this just freestyle for you, or did you have some writtens?
I had some writtens, and but it was a lot more loosely based around freestyle. But even though people didn't freestyle that much, you still had to freestyle, if you get what I mean. You couldn't get away with going in with 3 written rounds right at the start, just because within like about 6 or 7 months you could. But right at the start you couldn't, because it just came straight from that World Rap Championship scene and the freestyle brings the sheen sort of thing. So right at the start it was more freestyle for the first 4 or 5 events, and then it just got straight into writtens more. And
do you recall anything about this battle? I mean, you've done so many battles now. Does Too Easy bring anything to mind, or?
No, I obviously remember it because it was the first time to fucking go that far away from Liverpool to do anything to do with rap, like, and going to Brighton is the arse end. So where I'm from, you know, it's a while to get there. It takes about 7 or 8 hours on a coach to get there. Well, you stop in London for an hour, but it's still about a 7 or 8 hour journey. I got more used to it over the years, like, but that first time it was fucking horrible.
Yeah, we'll start with Too Easy's first round. He's not bad, actually, because I don't know if you remember, but he starts purposely bad to kind of trick everyone. Yeah. So he starts with,
I remember that.
like taking breaths. He's like, I'm tight, I'm white, I'll hit you with a knife. And then, like, you know, I've watched a lot of tryouts for this show, and I was kind of like, okay, here we go, O'Shea's going to murk him. And then he kind of... I mean, it's clever to have done that, you know what I mean, and to kind of play on that, especially back then. But then he just kind of, you know, it's kind of just you say in your first, basically, man came all the way down to the South Coast about all those age-old Harry Enfield Scouse jokes, which is, you know, kind of what he comes with there. And there was some flip game with you as well, some at least stuff written there. You say you've been in Brighton 2 hours, you've seen 2 Liverpool tops and Everton and the Penny Lane Gallery.
Yeah, I'd seen that as well. I genuinely had seen that as I came around the corner from the coast. There was a Penny Lane Gallery.
Right.
And so I thought, I'll get that in.
Of course.
One thing I can about that first round is, like, after he said that I'm white, I'm tight thing, he says something, whatever his next line is. I always remember his mates, who now are known to be DK and ZT, and as soon as he says his next line, they both went, rah! But, like, it wasn't in that... There was nobody making noise like that, so, you know, when I was standing there and he'd done that straight away, and everybody sort of went, what are they doing, sort of thing. But I'm going to win this. This is going to be all right.
And, like, you know, you say you battled in Liverpool before. What were those events like? Was it just freestyle past the mic?
They weren't events. No. It was... We had battles filmed at, like, 18th parties, 21st parties, and... you know, just like at sit-offs and parties that we were going to after we finished school and stuff like that.
And is there still? Do you still have footage personally of those stuff? Or?
Yeah, there's stuff on YouTube of them. Yeah, there's stuff on YouTube from before Don't Flop. Like, a lot of it's a bit harder to find. There's some of the first ones on Verse Tracker with Rick Riley ones. They're all still on YouTube. Right.
A
couple of Pyrotechnic ones and stuff like that.
Pyrotechnic, there's an early name. Jeez.
Yeah. He was about before Don't Flop. He was one of. He was on one of the events before Don't Flop. I was in Manchester, and, you know, analysts from Don't Flop, somebody jumped on stage and pushed him in the face.
Holy what? Just because of a bar he said, or
fuck went on and he got knocked out on stage. It was mad.
Jeez.
But it was the good old days.
Yeah. Well, you could get knocked out on stage, like, you know. And yeah, I mean, we won't spend too long on these verses. Obviously, it's a tryout. Obviously, it's the first Don't Flop battle ever, so it's not kind of going to have these kind of huge Chilla Jones style lyricisms. But there's still some funny stuff here. You know, Tuez. I mean, a lot of this early Don't Flop humor is kind of, you know, you're gay, ha ha. But he kind of playing on the Scouse. Scouse guys always walk home alone. Ass, or tonight we'll find you a gay guy to walk you home. That gets another laugh. And then, you know, you say, you know, I'm going off the top of my head in your second. Optimus Prime, got nothing to rhyme. I'm literally just going to say hippopotamus line, like, and that is you, isn't it? That is that you are that kind of meta-ness, and even in the Lunar battle, you know, 5 or 6 years later, you have that. I mean, you just feel you seem so comfortable in front of a crowd.
I've just got used to it that much now. Like, I mean, at the start, you just had to wing it and how well you were doing,
right,
and see how it was going. But now, like, I've got a pretty good concept how to get over a crowd, even if I know they're not going to be bar heavy. Do you know, if the bar heavy crowd, I still know how to get around, that sort of thing.
Yeah. But I mean, you're normally just playing to Don't Flop crowds, aren't you? And you are kind of royalty over there, I guess. So
yeah,
it's kind of, you know, yeah, it does. Too Easy says that he's rapping it dim. You should go back to the gym, which is kind of one of his struggle for. I mean, it's not
a bad bar.
No, it's not. It's not terrible. You kind of flex out here, but obviously you come taking the W, and the amount. I mean, you know, I mentioned this before in the intro, but it's mind-boggling to me the amount of battles that you've done. We're gonna push forward now to the Poe Rich battle. Like, we kind of have to. Like, on Battle Rap Resume, we like to kind of cover the early career and move slowly, but there's too many battles. Like, you did 22 battles in 2010 alone. Like, it's just, was it one of these things where it was the perfect melding of you like battling, Don't Flop was on the rise, of course you're going to take any battle coming? Yeah,
it just did that, especially that year for the amount I'd done. It just worked out, everything would work. You know, I had the weekends off every week. So, and then I could just go to Don't Flop or the like littler leagues every other week. Right. I had no responsibilities at the time, you know what I mean? So
yeah. No, it's perfect. And I mean, what are these memories of these early days? Like before even like birthday events, you were there with Tube. Like, you know, is it, how weird is it just seeing what it is now? It must be so surreal. I was saying it to Soul earlier. He's been around a while as well. Like, it must be weird to see.
It's not as weird as you'd think because we've sort of grown with it. You know what I mean? Because I've been there and seen it getting bigger. It's just it's like being on the bandwagon of what's been going on and on and on. And it's hard to quite remember the old days.
Of course.
Because it's so much better now. Like, the older days used to be a lot messier. Yeah. But now you've got you end up back in clubs with fucking 70 fucking fans and 20 battlers that you've been mates with for the last 20 years. So it's a lot better now, I tell you, like, by an absolute fucking mile.
Was there any grim stories, like just kind of getting around, or?
There's fucking shitloads. There's fucking horror stories. The amount of times you get stuck in places you don't want to be going to Don't Flop is unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I woke up in Brighton. Do you know what I mean? I woke up in Brighton and I've been in Manchester. 30 miles from my home and I woke up in Brighton.
But how? Like, were you driven?
Just because everyone's drunk and everyone's saying, let's go there. And then I ended up back in London and then back in Brighton.
Of course. So we'll get on to the next battle, which is a really, really good battle, actually. I didn't, kind of, when I went back, I had scenes before, but I hadn't watched it in a long, long time. And this is you against Poe Rich.
And Wayne Gretzky is shit. Apparently, he was the best at hockey, but to everyone outside this piece of shit country, that's as good as the guy who goes and gets the coffee.
Going over to King of the Dot, this must have been insane. Like, I was saying this to Kruger as well, like, he went out very, very early, you went out very, very early, like, not long really into your battle career in the grand scheme of things. Didn't seem to take too long for them to want to bring you over. Like, how did this kind of come about? Was it through or was it for organic, or?
Well, I'd been asked to go over to the first one. I couldn't go over at the time. And then so it just I was going over to the next one basically straight away. That was probably the first time that when we went to World Domination, that was the first. It was bigger than Don't Flop then King of the Dot. You know, like, Don't Flop's is level with it, I think, now. Yeah. I mean, King of the Dot's got the North American advantage, but production and everything that comes out of it from Don't Flop is just as good to me anyway. But at the time, King of the Dot, that was the first time that I'd seen it in a venue of that size. And that was only 2 years into, maybe 3 years into King of the Dot. And Don't Flop wasn't at that point then. And but Don't Flop's just snowballed and caught up to it easily now with all the venues and stuff. But that was the first time that I'd been surprised at how big the crowd was that I'd been performing in front of against, like, for the battle. Yeah,
it's massive, isn't it? And it's not only a crowd around you, there's people stood behind at the back as well. So it really gives a sense that, like, I mean, what's the play-by-play? So apparently you threw beer in some guy's face the day before, or spat beer in some guy's face the day before. You mentioned it in your first round.
There's a big bouncer there. He's telling everybody to calm down. And in the battle, in the day before, there was something kicked off with Immaculate and Bender or something. And I started laughing. But as I laughed, I was drinking my beer, and the beer spat in the security guy's face. He was kicking off. Do you know what I mean? So there was a good chance of what was going on. I thought, I'm going to get fucking thrown out here. But he just didn't do sound about it.
All right, okay.
And then he's standing in the front row the next round the next day. And he was threatening to kick people out again. So that's why I said, I've spat in your face and you didn't.
Right, yeah. No, that was great. And, I mean, so it was you going out with Kruger and going out to Toronto together, or?
I went out with Definition.
Oh, that's right,
yeah, because we went from the northern. I don't even know where we went from. If we went from Liverpool or Manchester, can't even remember where we flew from.
Right.
Definition flew into wherever. Oh no, Definition. Yeah, we went from London. Definition flew into London. Then we went from London to Toronto.
Right.
But yeah, I stayed in Psychos the first night there, and I've never been so scared in my life with people driving. I've never seen anything like it. Like this on this fucking. I was shitting myself.
Yeah.
The fucking. They just there's no. It's fucking. It was a bit of I didn't think it'd be that much of a culture shock to what I was expecting going over to Canada, because I've been to America before.
Sure.
But when I got to Toronto, it was extremely nice, but yeah, it was Psycho's driver was a bit of a crazy bastard.
Right.
And he was Asian as well, which made the stereotype worse for me in the back.
yeah. And I mean, like, one of the things that I love to, like, something we'll never experience is being a Canadian, seeing Oshea for the first time. Like, just to hear your voice, you know what I mean? Like, it just must be such a trip for them. Like, it must be so unusual. Whereas, you know, Poe Rich is kind of so standard here. And the battle starts with these interviews that King of the Dot used to do, which I quite like, actually. I mean, they kind of had their time and place kind of thing, but I guess, you know, it adds to the whole sense of professionalism in there. And weirdly, in their intro bar review, you do a Kerry Katona bar, and I was thinking, how many Canadians are getting this bar? Like, they could have picked any bar.
I'm going to tell you that.
No, there's not many Iceland fans over there, you know. You talk about being from Liverpool in the interview. You say you've been a fan of him for years. He calls you a drunk fucking potato. This kind of whatever. This kind of thing, yeah. And he talks about dropping his camera when he tried to take a photo with you or something like that.
I tried to take a photo. I was with him in Psycho and that in the car parking lot. I'm pissed trying to do, you know, one of those fucking like drunk poses where you're fighting and fist fighting each other.
Yeah.
Like a boxing pose.
Yeah.
And I passed the camera and dropped the camera and smashed it everywhere. And he was just taking the piss out of it, like, so.
Oh, good.
Fuck him for that.
Yeah. And I noticed in your corner as well, huge amount of the kind of, you know, North American talent there, really just you know, repping your side, I guess, to a certain extent. Sel Khan, Nameless, Diz. Like, what sort of reaction were you guys kind of getting? It's a Don't Flop guys, or was it just it's well done? There's a lot of different countries here, or was it like, it's Kruger and like? And Oshea.
Honest, like, I think what it was at the time is when the World Domination 2 came around. I think like a lot of the Blood in the Waters and, you know, like lad battles and all that was all around the same time. So I think just a lot of people started knowing each other better from being like there was a lot of battles where Disaster was over here or Soul Calm was over here and people were intermingling like and everybody was just sort of knocking around with each other at that World Domination. It was just straight from the place after the venue into the same clubs, like, and everyone was in the same hotel. You know what I mean? So it was just whoever was standing anywhere, really.
Yeah, and I mean, have you been back since? This is
no, not been back over, no.
And have they reached out or?
Yeah, I've been offered literally at every main event that there's been, sort of thing. Every World Domination or I've been offered Blackouts. Yeah, just haven't been able to get over.
Yeah. Yeah, it's different. And like you say, I mean, you have responsibilities now, don't you? So it's kind of a bit more difficult
that's it.
To adjust. But I mean, the important thing is you went over there and, you know, you went over there at a time, especially when it was quite rare for a British battler to be on a, you know, foreign league. Like nowadays, every event has, you know, whoever, but back then it was fucking awesome to see. And this probably most famously through the fun now, this battle begins with a beer drinking contest and you just outshine him. Like, you know, there's no real question, is it? You just down it in one. He claims later that he's more of an endurance drinker in the post interview. But yeah, it's great to have. Was that his idea? How did that come about?
Yeah, they just said when we got there, do you want to do a drinking contest? But the fucking their cans over there are like only half the size of our ones.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? They're like those little stubbies.
Yeah.
I thought this is going to be fucking easy, and it was easy. It was just a half a stub of a can, do you know what I mean? Yeah. All you have to do is not drink for the last 5 minutes before, and you could easily just do it in one.
Right. And rocking the Abbey Road tea as well, of course. Yeah, you kick it off, basically kind of coming with that kind of patented Oshea kind of delivery there. Mom has a smelliest twat, Many crabs in it, like the deadliest catch. You look like every fucking character from the film Clerks. Which I kind of get. He does look like Dante, actually. Poe Rich at that time. I kind of see where you're coming from here. And his missus looks like Bishop, which gets a huge reaction, of course. Shout out Bishop Brigante there. Seems to always be calling out in battles and stuff like that. As I said before, you talk about spitting beer in someone's face. Like, Poe Rich, like, I mean, was it just kind of like, I'll take anyone King of the Dot is giving me, or were you a fan, or?
That's just who they offer me straight away. I think straight away the gimmick was the drinkers straight thing. I think Organic mentioned that straight off. Like, so it was settled in straight from the beginning. Do you know what I mean? I knew about it before even all the first announcements came out. We had about 2 months to prepare for it, to be honest.
Oh God, it's quite a while then.
Yeah, I knew about it because obviously when you're going over to Canada and that, you can't. Yeah. It was a proper source out event, like, so. I think I knew about it about 7 weeks before.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And in your second and your third, you kind of, you know, the iconoclast here. Ice hockey's fucking shit, and you can tell the mood in the room. People are hurt. These Canadians are hurt by that. If you're good at ice hockey, you have to be good at ice skating, faggot. Kind of like the crowd. I mean, was there any nerves here with just like, how are the crowd going to take me? Like, I'm a jokey Scouse don't flop rapper in a world domination event, or were you just kind of like, I'm here for a reason?
I was wondering how much people would know me, to be honest, you know, when I went over there.
Yeah.
But then when I got there and people were coming over to me saying, oh, Oshea and all that, so I thought, yeah, it's going to be all right to come across just as normal as I usually do.
Yeah, of course. That's what they want, I guess, as well.
Yeah, and then so that's why I took it to the extreme of being as offensive as possible to Canada, sort of thing.
Yeah. Talk about, oh man, yeah, you say you wanked at the death of Owen Hart, which is...
I did. I love Owen Hart.
Yeah, of course.
Myself, I said that, to be honest.
Yeah. No. I mean, like, there is that pause. Like, everyone's like, whoa. Like, a few people you can tell are a bit like, you know, but Organic's rocking with it. Like, that's his sort of humour. And Poe Rich wins 4-1, which, I mean, there's many reasons why he would have won, and I'm not going to argue with this kind of decision. And I know you don't really care, do you? Like, you know, you went out.
It was just a good time, to be honest.
Yeah. And but I personally kind of have you winning, and a lot of the comments do as well. The majority of the comments are pretty much 3-0 Oshea. And I mean, comments. Is this something like interesting to you? Do you read the comments on your battles, or?
Sometimes, like, I do have a glance over them and that, but I see like in particular that Poe Rich one. I've seen a lot of the comments, and like, they're just people who obviously want me to have won that battle, even though I don't think I've done that. He might have won it 2-1 in the comments.
Yeah,
fuck, die Poe Rich, and I just think, you know, I don't really condone in that. No. But you know what I mean. It's but yeah, I do have a little glance over them, like.
Of course, I mean, you have to, don't you? You've got so many battles, like, it's just kind of... And it must... I mean, they're always going to be praise as well, pretty much. Like, you know, you are kind of...
Look, like, back in the day, I used to, when there wasn't that many people watching it, and so the comments were steady, and you could keep counting them.
Yeah, of course.
I used to be looking at people fuming at some of the comments, some of the stuff he'd said, but now it doesn't really matter now, like.
And like, don't flop around this kind of era. I mean, this is kind of just checking the date now. This battle's uploaded with Poe Rich, uploaded September 12th, 2011. So kind of late 2011. Just coming up to like the Griss and the Lunas, kind of in that era. Like, was it noticeable to you that Don't Flop was growing at this time? Yeah.
There was a strange sort of explode a bit, like, when the first to the test started. That was when it seemed to be getting bigger and bigger. But it seemed the scene, like in Manchester and Liverpool and that, didn't seem to be getting as big, but like it seemed to be getting big. All like Blood in the Waters and that were coming down, so all the bigger events in London were getting bigger and bigger. But yeah, it's just it grew. The speed of it's unbelievable, to be honest. Like, from what it went from, like, to what it is now. Yeah,
it's just kind of, I mean, in many ways, it's the explosion of YouTube as well, isn't it? That just kind of went hand in hand with it. But regardless, you know, fucking hell, Don't Flop really put in work. And I agree, those two, the test, Blood in the Water events, like, visually, they're a bit sharper, aren't they? They're a bit more interesting than kind of Oshea versus Tuez underneath a hotel. You know, I mean, they're a bit more, bit more exciting. But we'll push forward to a battle that I've been really excited to talk about. A battle that, you know, is a big deal in the history of Don't Flop. This is the first ever title match against Censor.
And stop shouting, lad. You need to pipe down. But he's such a tough guy like wow that he's going to mention those Leeds fans in Istanbul right now. Of course he's not never, because he's in Leeds, which means at the moment it ain't strategically clever. But if he was battling Matter in London, the shit would be a different story. You southern fucking middle class stinking Tory.
Had battled Censor before. Obviously he went quite far with a few angles that gets mentioned in this battle. We won't touch on that first battle so much, but was there any sense in you that when you were asked for this title match, you were like, oh, we've already battled? Or was it just like, okay, we're clearly the two main contenders, like, whatever, let's do this?
Yeah, it's just one of those things that came along.
Yeah.
I mean, had they battled anyone else, and I'm sure he'd have battled anyone else, so there was I wasn't bothered about battling again. He wasn't bothered about battling again, so we just went again. Like,
right.
I think he won that title match, to be honest. Like,
yeah. I mean, we'll get into it, but I just rewatched it today actually, and maybe he did, but
yeah, he did. There's no, I've seen it, and without a doubt, he does.
Yeah. Okay. Oshea, yeah, he did. But the thing is, you've got to think of it partly from maybe like quite cynically from a marketing point of view, and I just think Censor versus Tony D as the follow-up isn't as exciting as Censor versus Oshea. Tony D versus Oshea. You know what I mean? Like, is it kind of just you were the better mascot?
I don't know. It was a weird one. It was like, to be honest, it was one of those ones where I thought before it, like, even with the way the crowd was and the way other battlers are at the events, like that more people were wanting me to win it already. Do you know what I mean? And that's just how like the atmosphere played out on the battle.
Of course.
And I just don't think I won it at all. Like, and some of the stuff that like the judges saying that, I don't buy a lot of it. Like, so I just don't think I won that battle at all, to be honest.
No, fair enough. Well, this is this is kind of the definition of a style clash, right? You and Censor, it's kind of like we have someone who comes with that aggression, bluntness, and you're much more jovial here. This is to the test 10, as you say. As he introduce you, he says that he sounds like he's going to cry, but it's all joy. It's like I've never seen him so happy. This is 4 years' time for him to sort of see it come through and that sort of stuff. So it's very, very good. I'm not going to kind of detail all your fashions here, but you were rocking an Abbey Road tee, and now you're rocking the Zayn Azrai shirt. And one of the things that I thought interesting was just to compare Don't Flop in the sense of our most recent title match, Soul Raptor. Like, how different is that from this? Like, you know what I mean? Just everything.
Yeah, it's just evolution, isn't it? It's just the way it's completely changing. Like,
begin the first talking about how 2011 was one of the most stressful of your life. Lots of lies, and I apologise. Your first kind of punch, Censor's kids are fucking shit. So that's kind of what we're doing. Go to people's cities and fuck the team up like Brian Clough. I really, really like that. And just to mention the early comments as well, there's nearly enough comments for the rematch than comments gunning for Chronicle. So something's never changed, I suppose.
That was a staple back then, I think.
You mentioned that you've been supporting some big names like Kalashnikov and Plan B.
Yeah, at the time when
awesome.
The Dick Limerick second album came out.
That's with Ricky Riley, sorry.
Yeah. It started because we started posting it around and stuff. It started getting good reviews, so a lot of people started booking us and stuff. We ended up having some good gigs, like.
And you Jest as well.
Yeah.
Jesus,
the Wu-Tang as well. We had a good little run. Like, we had a good little run for a couple of years, like.
And did you meet Wu-Tang backstage? Like,
well, it was like Jizzer and RZA and that.
Well, still, I mean, they're some of the best members.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we were like solely supporting them. Like
that. What a card! What a lineup for a show. Dick Limerick Academy and RZA and Jizzer. That's brilliant, man. That must have been. Was that in Liverpool?
Yeah, that was in Liverpool in the Casimir at the time.
Oh yeah, the Cas. What a venue! Yeah, great venue. Obviously hosted a lot of good Don't Flop events as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sadly gone now. Demolished.
Bloody
student flats again.
Well, I mean, I was a student in Liverpool.
Get you out.
so I mean, I love the place. Obviously,
Where are you in Liverpool?
I was on, I was in Lime Court, so that's on kind of Lime Street, Renshaw Street. The comic book shop. Yeah, just kind of the stairs. There's kind of like flats up there, and my room looked onto the Radio City Tower in the back of the Weatherspoon. So It was all good. But no, I fucking love Liverpool, and one of the many reasons I loved it was the Casimir. It's an amazing venue. It's so sad that it's closed.
It's completely gone. They flattened the whole lot of the land. I don't know why it's gone. Like, must have been fucking doing well as a venue. The Cream as well. That's gone as well.
It's just central as fuck as well. Like, it's ridiculously.
Strange one. Yeah,
very sad. But as you've been supporting Kalashnikov and Plan B, Centre's been supporting someone else's kids. Would you go in there now? Maybe the first. I like the first. I like the energy in the first. Obviously, you're really, really good at getting a crowd going. They love you. They're chanting O'Shea when you're introduced, which is quite rare, actually. I think Luna gets his own chant, but can you think of anyone else in Don't Flop that gets chanted their name? I really can't think of anyone.
I've heard Unan get a chance a few times. Unan coming out.
No, that's true. Yeah, that's a good shout. That's about it, really. Yeah, but first round, you just kind of maybe you're not saying too much here, but you're really attacking, and then Centre doesn't waste any time really. Talks about how you wasted Nestle's trip. You talk about the disrespect you showed, and the inconsistency is the only consistency that you own. So the Don't Flop champ sitting on the throne should be based on consistency alone. I mean, you kind of can't argue his logic, even though I do like you more. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's kind of
he all the way through the battle, he should have won it. Like, there's everything he's saying to me is true. He nails me in this battle. It's just that he's a bit more unlikable than I win this battle.
I think it's a mixture of him being unlikable and you being uber likable that kind of plays into it, and it's kind of, I guess, the underdog story. And I guess maybe if it would have taken place a few years later, Centre might have won. But great comment, by the way. The top comment on this battle is, Centre was a one-of-a-kind, racist, horrible, upper-class cunt. Bring him back. We need someone to hate again. I think the second is strong. You mentioned Cooper or Kruger, something about Centre using bars or something, and you point off screen and you're like, oh, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. When we went to Toronto, I'd stayed in this lad Cooper's house, and his book, he was talking about some raps, and I'd heard it before, and Centre had said it, and he said, oh no, I told that to Centre,
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, really? Oh really, eh?
You could have done that as an angle though, you could have fleshed that out. It was just a bar, you did it.
Yeah, I think I just remembered it later on, at the end sort of thing.
Yeah. But that's interesting, and obviously Archaic kind of brings up similar kind of writing issues here. But you again attack his ego, saying that he went on Awkwards apparently as well on Twitter, which is quite a weird beef there. But fair enough. And you play to the crowd. The difference between me and you is that you have a few supporters, I have actual fans, and the crowd go mad there.
Celebrated it as well. I did celebrated it when I said it.
Yeah, you did. Only a prick would respect you. Is how Centre begins his second, and you kind of laugh and just kind of nod. And talking about Pete Cashmore, who is a friend of the show, shout out Pete Cashmore, and so you were
shout out Pete.
Yeah, shout out Pete. You were featured on Nuts magazine then, or
the Plan B mentioned me in an interview or something.
Wow.
And then Cashmore looked at the stuff that he was mentioning, and then he got me in the Guardian and that. Shout out Cashmore, forever grateful.
That's crazy. It's absolutely
and
brilliant.
The Enemy got us in as well.
Bloody hell. Back when it was paid for. And Enemy, it's free now.
Is it free now?
Yeah. It's like the Skinny or whatever, or any other, free magazine. Yeah, it's just free.
Oh, fucking hell, didn't even know that.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Subscription to it.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of go in and you talk about how easy it is sometimes to, make the crowd laugh and go in on people. And, his misses' nickname Laserbeam because the crowd go all straight through her sort of thing. And Centre's third, again, he's not going to shy away from some of his controversies, and he kind of owns up some of the things that he said and then going in on it and kind of explaining that realistically, all the things that kind of, obviously the Reece Jones stuff and stuff like that, sort of it's the people that did the drugs that contribute to whatever the kind of mathematics that he's doing there. But realistically, he ends around. Realistically, you should all hate him, and then it's just like
I think he was just making people hate him more.
Yeah.
That's why I think I won the battle, even though he was better. I think he just came across as if it I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Well, he's relating that me have somehow got anything to do with anything.
Yeah.
And he's just making it worse for himself as he's going on.
Yeah, it's kind of because...
But it's better than my stuff, do you know what I mean? But it's not working for everyone who's there. Even though he's won that battle, still think everybody was on my side, do you know what I mean?
I think everyone needs to watch this battle, the Sensor O'Shea battle, to understand how you can win a battle by loot, but not outright or anything. Like, you know, you just
literally, I shouldn't have won that battle, like.
But, you know, you do, and the judging is interesting. Everyone, you know, is saying how close it is. Dialect gives it to Sensor. He basically can't resist the third round. Sorry, he says it's just too conclusive for him. Shizaz, one for jokes, gives it to you. Fredo also gives it to you. Matter liked your performance more. Nils felt that, interestingly, that Sensor focused a little too much on exposing Nils's skills, and he said that he felt a lot of the crowd didn't like it. So, I mean, that is kind of, you know, logical, really. You take it, and both you and Sensor look really surprised, like, for different reasons, but there is a kind of like, wow, like, you know, I lost this, I won this kind of thing, like, you know, this isn't how you thought it.
And as soon as it happens, everyone goes, yes, and people are jumping on me back straight away.
Blizzard's there, yeah.
Yeah, and I knew I shouldn't have won it, like, and not a very nice, it's not a very nice feeling when that happens, like, it's a bit awkward, or very awkward, to be honest, like, because I genuinely thought I'd lost it, and I genuinely thought he knew that he'd won it as well.
Yeah. What was it like after kind of the crowd had dissipated, and did you get to talk to him after the battle? Yeah, but like, it's just battle rap, so all you say to each other is, oh, you know, I think you should have won. And he's like, oh yeah, I might have. That's it. Like, do you know what I mean? It's, right.
There's no like lengthy debate in it with each other. Like, but yeah, and then everyone just parties together. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
10 minutes. Nobody cares. An hour later, when everybody's in the pub, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and they say they're going to engrave the winner's name on a big trophy. Did that happen or?
Yeah, I got a trophy. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Right. Oh, cool. But yeah, like I say, both of you are kind of slightly astonished at this, and with that, you crowned champ, which is, well, I mean, did that? I mean, I'm not putting the Don't Flop title down, of course, but like, did that mean anything to you, or was it just another battle?
Well, you know, it was good to be named the champion, like, but I didn't lose any sleep when I lost it. You know what I mean? And there wasn't.
You seem almost relieved.
You know what I mean? I wasn't asked at all, like, because it's just a title in a rap battle league, but
yeah. We're not going to see you come out of nowhere and challenge Soul.
No, I'm out of that. Like,
you versus Soul is the most like what battle ever. Like,
I'm out of that. I'm not going for no titles, mate.
So we push forward on what was a massive year for Don't Flop, and they close it out with, in my eyes, I'm really angry that I didn't get to go to this because it was just when I was getting into it. But 4th birthday, right? What an event this was! Yeah,
that was probably the best. I think. Whole event wise, every battle running to plan, like how well the event done. That was the pinnacle event for Don't Flop, I think.
Yeah.
Personally.
No, it's interesting you say that because obviously you've been to so many, definitely. But I kind of agree. Actually, I think also just the kind of the stage is the perfect height for with the crowd, and like it just looks cool in there. Fabric was it in there or something like that?
Fabric, I think, or
Current, or one of those kind of.
Obviously Arsenal and Shotty as well being at that event.
Yeah, Arsenal and Shotty, 100 Bullets and Bamalam, Jefferson Price and Caustic. You know,
that was a really good event. That one,
just great, and lots of like other little battles as well that occurred that were really, really good. Oh, there was some demo battle that was really good from that, where it was like Soul and Definition versus Chris Lees and Zen, and it's like a really surprisingly good battle.
Calcium and Bowski versus Uno and Mickey Worthless,
Yes,
It ended up on a demo channel or something.
Yeah, because like I think
it was a fucking good battle.
Yeah, it was. It's funny. Yeah, it's a really funny battle. Yeah, tons. Ogmios versus Adam the Rapper.
That's another one.
Was another dope one as well.
Villain and Carlos.
Carlos. Yeah, fucking hell. There was so many good battles on that card. Didn't DK battled Uno?
No, that was that. Did she? No. Yeah, she did.
I think she did.
That was the same event. Yeah. Get back in the kitchen one. Yeah, that was the same event.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, that was a amazing card. And like this was the final battle on the first day. This was closing it out.
I'm not too sure. I think
probably. Yeah,
it was. Yeah. Right. DNA and Sensor was just before us.
Oh yeah. Well, there's another battle as well. Jesus, that was another really, really good battle. But so I mean, coming up to this. Was Tony D like number one contender, or was it Definition? And what was there a sense that why isn't Def getting this? Or
I don't have a clue, to be honest. Like, I think I just told you.
Yeah.
And I thought it might have been Definition. I thought it might have been Tony D, and it turned out to be Tony D. Like,
We've got fan bases, Tony, but mine and yours are a bit different. See, mine snort white and cause fights. Yours just sit listening. My fans go fucking mental. Yours are mental patients. They got you gassed like petroleum petrol stations. See, what they do is they hear your wordplay and just assume it's genius. But what they don't realise is usually it's just meaningless, tedious, easy shit.
Well, big up Tony D every time. I think the best thing that ever happened to Tony D was winning the title. Like, he just seemed to have gotten better and better and better since then. And you know, I mean, not that he wasn't brilliant, you know, there's some amazing writing in this, but I do think he's just better. I prefer his battles after this point. I just think he has kind of, like, I'm obviously, you know, I fucking run a battle rap podcast, like, I'm a bit of a nerd for this shit, but like, his kind of, his just writing style, I just kind of prefer the detail in it. But, you know, we jump in and you said that you struggled to write for it because you felt they didn't deserve it. I mean, obviously this is battle rap, but was there any of that in your head, or?
No, it was just that at the time I thought it might have been Definition as well.
Sure.
So that was just an opening line to just to go with, like.
Right, yeah. And what is, I should ask, what is the writing process like? You do have that freestyle ability within you. Are you like jotting your verses on paper and then rehearsing them in your room or in your head, or?
Mainly in my head, like, or when I'm at work or whatever, just go over it, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's... I usually spend, if I want to do like well in a battle, you know, if it's a big battle, a Kid Twist or a Low Pesci. I didn't get this time a Low Pesci, but if it's someone of that stature, I try and get 2.5 weeks in. Do you know what I mean? Before it, so I can start preparing with 2.5 weeks to go, and then I've got a week about every 5-6 days to get it nailed first, so as it goes. But then a lot of the time, more recently, like a lot of the battles that have been taken have been like last minute ones and stuff like that, because I haven't been able to commit.
Right, like my verse.
Like my verse and stuff like that, yeah. So obviously you just got to wing a lot of it when it's getting that close and that. But
talk about wanking.
Yeah, that's it. just get some random shit and bring it in.
Oh, that bar, man. Jesus Christ. I remember watching that battle on the pay-per-view, like, and I didn't know you were going to say it, and then you just kind of... I remember, and then, it was just... We'll get onto that.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with it, like...
Yeah, didn't you... I saw you on Viewpoint saying you like sleeping in a bus station or something after it, or... No,
I went to the pub.
Oh, right.
Went back, and everybody had gone. And I didn't have my card to get in the hotel.
Oh.
And then I had no money on me, and I came outside and everyone was gone. And my phone and my battery was just about to die. So I put it on Viewpoint and then it died.
Oh. And what happened?
I ended up getting a charger off some fella in the pub, charging it. And then my missus had got in touch with Theo. And Theo had come and got me, like.
Oh, good.
Sorted me out, saved me. Forever in debt to him.
4 or more shells on your back, snail orgies. You called him Ali Campbell because soon you be 40. I really like my bars leave the crowd amazed, like early magic. It's very like un-Oshea bar.
Yeah, I don't know where that.
No, I like that though.
I don't know what that is, like, to be honest.
I know when I heard it, you know, but then fear not. You talk about sucking the blood out of Tony D's mum's pussy with a straw. You
like it.
Yeah. And talking about, you know, kind of the southern slang, probably go to a German restaurant and order a bratwurst, and then Tony comes in. You know, again, Definition is being mentioned quite a lot here. His spot, people getting upset, etc. If it's Paul on me, either way, you're facing death, which is very, very nice. Everyone knows Tony's snatch scheme. Which is fucking brilliant, really, really good, with a great punch as well. But it's kind of like, with that, like, I've always said schemes need good punches at the end, but with that sort of scheme, I know it's not technically a scheme, but it's kind of like, it's just the detail, the way he constructs it's so good. Like, breaks down the whole plot and all the characters. And Tony also, you know, he indulges in Oshea-ness, should I say, and just kind of fantastic bars here. For the 9 months she carried you, your mom, her nickname was Cock Blocker, but not but not because it stopped her putting a hole about a man, because you showed defensive bruises on the forearms in the ultrasound scan.
Yeah, it's nice that.
Yeah, really, really funny. And he mentions midget porn, and you mention midget porn like 2 rounds later. It's just a weird coincidence that you both mentioned coming up short on camera in different rounds. But yeah, Tony D's Wet More Wang Than Rain in China. Amazing bar, like hilarious bar. But like, it's one of those ones where like I'd heard it before, just like on like one of those joke websites or so, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that I never for a second think that he would plagiarize it, but it's what, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, I kind of want to laugh harder, but I've heard this before, like, you know. But no, shouts to Tony. You go in on in your second, you're going on Loki. He was preaching about the war or something like that. He said that like his preaching is why people actually support the war in Iraq.
Yeah, it was just taking a piss, really. I don't agree with what I've said there. You know what I mean? But yeah. I thought it would work, and it did. It worked well for me, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. No, it did. I mean, this sort of audience, you seem to be really receptive to it. Like, you know, you seem to be kind of like... It was a great event, wasn't it? The vibe was fantastic.
Yeah. There seems to be a lot of hip-hop fans in there as well, so you seem to get more of the UK references along with the Semtex line as well, which I thought a lot of people might not get, but the crowd that were in there seems to... that whole battle with the vibes and that seemed to go down perfectly from start to finish for both of us, like standing on stage and being there, like.
No, for sure. And you know, you go in on Tony D's kind of like the floridness of his pen, and kind of like he likes the kind of subtle puns, and that's kind of what he revels in. You know, talks about you know, you'll be found face down in an Everton shirt. It's obvious he's fell, ain't he? Kind of thing, you know, fell, ain't he?
Yeah.
You know,
nice that though.
No, for sure, nice, like really, really good. And he's one about like the seabed kind of thing. Like you'll see ocean floor. Tony does it so much better than me. Like my
he's garbly stuff like that.
My like ungangly Brummy accent around Tony's subtle words, but you'll see ocean floor like a seabed, which is quite nice. And then you kind of flip it, but I mean,
it doesn't work. It doesn't work to flip.
You seem to do that a lot, where you flip it and it's not very good, but you say like, "Oh, shite," and then everyone laughs, and they're like, I'm not kind of putting you down for it, but like you just kind of like, you know, whatever, right? Like, you know,
it works.
Mm-hmm. You talk about basically, and then you end your third by setting the record straight on how to pronounce words correctly. Really, really funny. And Tony goes with the whole the con scheme. You know, which Punch is great. Punch is really, really good. You con censor out the title. I just conned you out of yours. That's kind of how it ends. And then it begins also with the consensus that you con censor. And in the middle, there's tons of condemn you politics. Could slow it down. That'd sound conceited. Like, it's okay. It's nice. I know it's maybe a little long, perhaps, for me. And I've got you winning this. I do.
Yeah, a lot of people say it won. I can see why it goes either way, like, to be honest. I can see why people think I won sometimes, and I can see why people think he won. Like, that's what makes it such a good battle. I think both. It's probably my best performance. Like, it's definitely one of his best performances.
Oh, sure.
So, do you know what I mean? So, that's probably the best battle. If I had to pick one battle that I've been in and say that's the best battle I've been in, that's probably that one. Like,
yeah, no, for sure. 5-2. Tony takes it as well, which is, you know, not a damning conceit. Thesaurus gives it to you, which is great. And he launches a big defence of you as well, because obviously he's such a competitive person that he takes it personally, that his vote's on the losing side. So he kind of goes out there. But everything that he says, I completely agree with. He basically says that you definitely take the first, which I do agree with as well. Tony probably takes the second, so it comes down to third on preference. And he feels the con scheme's too long, Saurus, and I kind of agree with you. And it kind of doesn't get as many punches out as you get out. And like, if you were to kind of, I never want to do it in this kind of analytical way, but if you were to just it up on kind of laughs and kind of like audience, like, you do take it, but whatever. Tony won, and he was an amazing champion. Like, you know.
Yeah, it's been you can't fault anything he's done as a champion, can you? No. He's been ran with it perfectly and demolished practically everybody that's been in his way. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. I think Sol was saying that he had like 2 or 3 across all of his title matches, had like 2 or 3 votes against him. Like, you know, so he has been. He's been unanimous. He also bodied unanimous. But he has been unanimous. And I mean, you know, you weren't losing any sleep over losing his title, as you say, were you? It was just kind of pass it on, you know.
Of course.
Happy to be just O'Shea. And
it's great. It's great to have lost to someone who's done that well as well. Do you know what I mean?
Oh God, yeah. If you're going to lose,
losing to him, and then he'd fucking lost it in the next battle. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And this, I mean, you were already there already, but like this kind of seems to cement your position. I guess with 4th birthday, kind of in many people's eyes, cement like this is a big Don't Flop event, and kind of you're always going to be on the top of the card, really, aren't you? every birthday event that's kind of been the case, hasn't it? Like you battled Clips at 5th birthday. Did you battle at 6th birthdays? Yeah, you battled Harry Baker, didn't you?
Baker,
yeah. So and then obviously 7th birthday you battled Kid Twist as well. And is this something you just see? You're always going to be the birthday battler, like you're always going to come down for those events.
I'm always going to try and get involved in events. I will be doing. I do the local Liverpool, Manchester ones, and I will turn up at a few of the bigger events through the year. Like
right. And yeah, that's what I really like about you as well. Like you don't seem to have any kind of aversion to the lower leagues. Like, you know, shout out to King of the Realms, love King of the Realms and all that sort of stuff. All Words of Weapons. Like you just love to battle, don't you? I guess.
If it's in around where I am, there's no point in not being there. And like I said, there's a lot of events that go around the Liverpool, Manchester area. So you're probably guaranteed at least every month there's an event here, or twice a month there's events in Liverpool or Manchester. So
well, I mean, you were vying for the belt, weren't you, against Bard recently?
Yeah. Mickey got in touch, said to have a go at it, so I did. I lost. Yeah,
shout out Bard. We had him on the podcast recently. He was he was great. So now we jump ahead to what is, I mean, one of the biggest battles in Don't Flop history, really. Himself says that history's about to be made. Ever since Luna's final battle, which was that at the same event as the Censor, the 2-on-2 he did with Philly Swain?
Censor one.
When you battled Censor for the title, was that when Luna did the double with Matter? You did the 2-on-2 battle?
Yes, it was. Yeah, that was the same event, yeah. God, that was the day before. That was a 2-day event.
Right. God, so much time has passed then. And obviously, since then, how many comments come up that normally say Lunacy versus Shotty is kind of the main comment that comes up. And with 517 likes on the battle, the top likes on the comment, the top comment is, yeah, but we still want Luna versus Shotty kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, that's what he wants.
It is. And I've got a feeling, well, actually, I don't know. I'm saying I've got a feeling it's happened. That's a hunch of nothing. I probably won't. I know Shotty's happy doing what he's doing. Luna probably doesn't want to come back, but Luna did come back.
Everybody, let's welcome back Lunacy, because this shit's a great pleasure. Respect, because you've got a lot more to lose than me. So I hope this prick can take pressure. But we're all glad to see the return of this tape measure.
It was teased. I remember at 6.5 birthday or something like that, Luna was there, and it was kind of like, you know, Luna's in the crowd of Don't Flop again after years, you know, he's coming back. And then I think they did something with Uno Lavas and some interview or something, and then Don't Flop announced that, yeah, this is the headline for Checkpoint 2, Luna's coming back. And was it just he needs you, like as in he's only one to battle O'Shea, or?
I don't know exactly what went on in the back, you know what I mean? I just got in touch with me and said the battle's there, like, so I think Luna did request me, like, or it was pointed out that if it couldn't be Shotty, that was the best, like, option for them to take, you know.
Right. And like, obviously you were there before, you were there after, you were there during the whole Lunacy madness. Like, what was that like from the ground level?
To be honest, you didn't really see much of it, you know what I mean, because being at the actual events, the love was coming from the forums and, you know, YouTube comments. So it wasn't the actual. These weren't the people that were turning up at the events, like where he battled DPF or where the 2-on-2 in Manchester. Yeah. These were just people who were Don't Flop fans there, but it was online that it was getting bigger and bigger. So when he came back at the 2-on-2 with Philly Swain, that was when he'd got bigger than most of the people in Don't Flop. Well, like there was people there to see him then, but that when I went to the Ministry of Sound one, there was people that there was people who I'd spoke to who didn't know who I was, who he was battling, like.
How can you not know who Oshea is, though?
It was just like people who brought the mates and stuff, you know, they'd all came to see him, but they were like Lunacy fans.
I think in many ways the gamble, you know, in inverted commas, kind of passed off for Don't Flop, because the battle currently has 690,000 views. You know, it's a hugely viewed battle, a great look for them as well, and obviously a great event. Great to have Luna coming back. Luna, similar to, you know, yourself, is kind of emblematic, definitely of a certain era of Don't Flop, a certain mentality. But you know, he's an icon of Don't Flop, right? I mean, he was just ginormous. I mean, that's how I got into battling. Was someone was like, "Oh, have you heard this guy Lunacy?" Like, and you're just kind of like, you know, wow. And he says himself in this battle that you know, when he came along, there weren't people really doing what he was doing, and then kind of that opened the floodgates for that to kind of come through with the 2012 crop. So, you know, that is interesting that he was kind of put in the original. But we'll go into the first round now. Just before we get into the first round, like, this place is rammed, right? Were you nervous? I know you've battled like 90 odd times by this point, but like, there's still a lot of people. A Ministry of Sound. It's a big occasion.
Well, no, like, I was a bit nervous before, like, but once you're up there, you can gauge how it's going to go all right. It's a big venue, but it wasn't that big, do you know what I mean? It wasn't to the point where it would overawe you, sort of thing.
No, to be fair, the Leeds birthday venue were a bit bigger, wasn't it? Like, felt a bit bigger, yeah. The C in Lunar C stands for dickhead. You have this really funny bit where basically you talk about his fans, you know, the people that might not even know Oshea, and before the battle, one of them tried to convince me that he had a brilliant foot.
Yeah, it didn't very well.
It didn't. No,
it was fucking shit, to be honest. I just thought it might come across funny, and it didn't. There was about two people. I see someone like, he looks around at his mate because he doesn't even know what it means in the crowd in the front. He looks at his mate, and they're just thinking, oh, he's lost this already. Like.
Yeah. I like it, and one of the reasons that I like it is, one, because it just comes out of nowhere, like, literally it doesn't make sense, and then you push it, you're like, no, Oshea, I mean, his toes are amazing and his heel's sick, like, you know, it's just his foot, like, you know. It's a Lunar Sea battle, so who's going to be introduced? Bloodstro, big up Bloodstro, most quoted. You say that it's the biggest quote from any battle that he's been in. That I've seen more in a life than you've seen in your night. Like, I can't even get it out. Bloody hell. Sorry, it's quite late here. You know what I mean? The Bloodstro thing. Yeah, we know. Yeah, great slogan as well. Like, genuinely, actually good slogan. Like, kind of really, really funny. And it definitely has its place.
Got a t-shirt with it written on.
Yeah. I've seen them. And, like, he says, no, it's not. What is then? Because I know there are some famous Lunar quotes, like, you know, there's one about dragging my bollocks bareback down your family tree and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, none of that's more as famous as... Yeah. None of it is. That's probably one of the only lines that I nailed in that battle, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And shout out Bloodstro in the crowd as well. You talk about how Bloodstro made you, and then Bloodstro's actually in the crowd, and he kind of pipes up and
always
stuff.
Shouts out Ryan always.
Yeah. That was really, really funny. Shout out Bloodstro. But yeah, and Impatient, like my doctor's Im. You went to Bradford, and there's lots of people who look like so just putting that out there. And this is the, you know, this is the moment here. You know, this is everyone's taking their breath. Lunar's back. You know, this guy's back, and his big opening bar, which is a very, very lunary bar. You're the product of a shag gone wrong and a snapped condom. You know, I mean, I've got to be honest. I do like Lunar. I'm not like kind of a huge fan or whatever. And like, he kind of has his time and place. But it's great to see him coming back. It's great to see the crowd, you know, really engaging with him, and everyone's, you know, joyous here. But they're going mad for these bars, right? There's one where he says like, I met your mom on Match.com, and it was like, and it's just like, yes, there isn't even a bar yet. He's just saying about a website. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, he had a lot of fans there.
Yeah, he did. And why wouldn't he? You know, he is a big deal. Some just good wordplay. Talk about you buying speed rather than coke. He downgraded from Yay to Whiz like Amber Rose. Gets the Bagnall stamp. It talks about, you know, getting blown and kind of the girl going up the body. She took it like a champ. Tony D. Which kind of requires almost a visual kind of point. But you see where I'm coming from here. And
yeah.
Like, how do you feel about your performance in this battle?
Do you know what? I'm quite happy with the first round. But the second one, I'm all over the place in that.
Right.
And the third one, not very good either, to be honest.
And you were saying you like to, you know, if it's a big battle, you like to put a lot of time in. Were you putting a lot of time in for this, or?
I was, yeah. But like, when I look back at it, it's shit. Half of it, like, you know what I mean?
It's not shit, but yeah.
It's not shit, but it's not as good as it should have been for a battle of that.
Right.
Caliber, like. Yeah. And then, like, I look at other battles that I've done that I've put less effort in, and the stuff's been better. Do you know what I mean? Just that's how it works sometimes. That's how it works.
Of course, you know
the second round wasn't hitting with the crowd either.
No, it wasn't. You know, going nowhere like Carter Deem's Passport. Could have hit.
Fucked that up badly.
But I think again, you were saying if someone doesn't know who Oshea is, not going to know who Carter Deems is, are they? So probably not that many people are going to react. So Gangster, I put holes in bagels. They say at battle it's Ryan's revenge, which I quite liked as well.
Don't remind me of the shit.
But I mean, talking about reminding people of stuff they wrote, Luna with his phone, which, I mean, you can't help this sort of thing, and I appreciate he's coming back into the battle fray. He's been doing music all this time. He's got the beat to guide him, sort of thing. It was a little dispiriting. I know. Like I'm trying to.
Do you know what? It was quite awkward at the time. Like,
because you're rapping right to him, and he's just got his phone.
It did put me up a little bit, but
but
you know what I mean. The last thing I would have wanted for him to fuck up or anything. So
no, of course
I'm not too arsed at what he done. You know what I mean? Let him. I'd rather he didn't fuck up, and we got fucking a lot of views. More views. He did fuck up, you know what I mean? So I've got no problem with him doing that.
Could you imagine if he choked?
It was a bit awkward rapping, but like I'm not.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm going to get angry about is battle rap.
No. And no, it's just kind of like, I mean, pulling out the phone isn't necessarily that bad. Like if you're just doing it quickly, or it's kind of a bit like I don't know if you remember Unanimous versus Youth Oracle, but like in that, Unanimous has his phone out and he's blatantly scrolling through and reading as Youth Oracle as well is like a proper, aggressive, passionate battler. And it was just a bit, I don't know, it just kind of like, it's when you find out that the Tooth Fairy isn't real, it's like, Luna's looking at his bars on his phone. It's like, it's kind of like, especially because of Return, but whatever. Apparently, according to the comments, and this is just kind of what I'm asserting from kind of other people making up stuff, so who knows if this is true or not, but his second round is his third round, vice versa. And you can kind of tell, actually, because his second round ends with, like, mom jokes, basically, and old-school Luna stuff. So it probably makes more sense for a fan perspective, doesn't it, to kind of do that stuff at the end.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what he said did happen, to be honest.
Right, yeah.
I think he did say that after the battle, so it was like...
right, okay.
That he'd messed it up the wrong way down, like...
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, whatever. And... he does mum joke time in his second. I love how you shout out King of the Ronalds in probably the biggest Don't Flop battle of the year. That was pretty funny. Causing more trouble than King of the Ronalds, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, it didn't really. I thought, I was hoping that'd pop a bit more, and that, just everything wasn't really hitting that day. Like, Luna killed me that day. Like,
yeah, I mean, it was his day, wasn't it? It was kind of
it's like second there.
Yeah, and you look like the missing link between Phil and Grant Mitchell. According to Luna, if I slap you in the cheek, it'd look like your face was twerking. Your mother has actual crabs, actual pincers, kind of thing. And he has like quite a funny bar, which is like rude, but also just kind of like he's clearly just was making a cup of tea and wrote this bar. He's like, let it splash on the stomach like I ran a spoon under the tap. And I'm just like.
Yeah. He must have been there in the moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I've got a bar for Oshea, but this is an interesting. I think this is, it's not about like Return to over and over again, but it's a really fascinating relic, and it's great that Luna came back and became part of Don't. I mean, as to kind of if he's going to battle again, I don't know, probably not, or maybe at another huge event or something. But we're not going to see him turn up anytime soon. You must have just been happy to take part in a sense. This was the biggest battle of the year, and you were in it.
Yeah, of course. It's a pleasure to be involved in anything like that. Mm-hmm. Just wish I'd done a bit better myself, but I'm still not that pissed off with the performance. So
no,
it's pretty win-win situation, to be honest.
We'll get onto the final battle, which I want to get into, which is a really, really interesting battle, actually. Kind of a different battle. This is against Scorsese.
Say my name. I don't give a shit if I lose this. I'm still big up in the game, still big up all the same. Safe for the battle, but you off your fucking rock. I think you taking my mantle. See, this is my shit. I do this on the regular. I get rid of crap from the scene like an enemy. All I see is blood like the bloody predator. So real and upfront, you can call me Benzema.
On Clash Money, Scorsese, we should say, was a British rapper who was. He debuted with like a massive single, didn't he? And then he kind of disappeared in 2004. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah. I've known Scouse for a while.
Right.
I've been a fan of him for a while. All his Outerville stuff and everything. From back in the day.
No, he's great. Like I've got to admit, I was a little bit naive to him before I got into. Well, actually, no, I knew of him from the Shea Meadows film. Which I'd seen with Paddy Considine, which is a really, really good film as well, and obviously he does a lot of rapping. It's kind of a sort of joke amateur film, but like that is a really good movie to check out. Like, how did this battle come about? This seemed like so left field.
I've been in touch with Scores, and we've done like tracks together and that, and I know I've got like good connections with the Nottingham lot. Do quite a lot of stuff in Nottingham. Always have, really, since I've been rapping for the last 7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
So whenever there's a Nottingham event and that, if they hit me up, I'll go, like, because I've got friends there anyway and stuff. So yeah, the Scouse just said he was interested in battling. He wanted to battle me. So yes, obviously said yeah, like.
Yeah, no, of course, and the production on these videos fantastic. Like,
yeah, it's good. It's a proper. The actual nights are more of a. It's not a rap battle night, you know what I mean? It's an more of a club night sort of thing. Right. Have big acts on after you.
Yeah.
You know, people from Roll Deep or whatever, that sort of stuff.
Oh, shit.
So it's always busy. It's probably the busiest. It's so like just as busy as a Don't Flop event, to be honest. Wow. And Flash Money event sometimes. Like.
Awesome. Yeah. No.
That one with Scorsese was absolutely packed out. Like.
Yeah, the crowd are awesome. Like the sound is brilliant as well. You can both hear you both clearly over the beats, and really fun vibe. And you both kill it. Is Scores going to come back? I know that he's got a new album coming out, I think this year. So did he? Or was this kind of a one-off? Or
I think it's a one-off for him, but you never know. I know that he loved doing it, like, and obviously he's got to be ecstatic with his performance as well.
Yeah,
so
it's amazing. He was really good.
He was brilliant. Like, so hopefully he does come back and do some.
Yeah, I really hope to as well. And just a quick question as well. Like, I mean, this is kind of a slightly weird question, but I lived in Liverpool for 3 years. It's obviously not that big of a place. Like, are you recognised?
Yeah, I am, to be honest. Particularly around the Smithdown Road.
Oh yeah, well yeah, a lot of friends.
The Toxteth area, like
yeah.
So that's where I'm from, round there, and because there's a lot of students and
it's a huge Sefton area, isn't it? Yeah,
and it's a very mixed area and stuff. So I get I recognise quite a lot around there, like, to be honest.
That's cool. What people just shouting O'Shea?
Yeah. I love it, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it must be great. I mean, your child's still quite young. They wouldn't realise it yet, I guess. Like, do they know that, like, you're a battler, or...?
No, he's only just turned 3, like, so...
Oh, yeah. He's just learning shapes, so it's probably...
Yeah, he doesn't have a bloody clue, him, like...
One day he'll...
He raps himself.
Oh, really?
He's got a few bars, yeah.
Oh, nice. No, that's gonna. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of much for muchness, but I do often think that, like, what do battlers' kids like? I know that Shocks the Rebel has, like, teenage boys, and I'm like, they must just think his dad's the biggest badass in the world, like, battling on Don't Flop and shit. Like, it's pretty fucking cool. But we'll close up the episode as we normally do, just a few quick fire questions. And the first one is: do you have a favourite King of the Dot battle, O'Shea?
One that I've watched. My favourite.
Yeah, or just kind of one that you enjoy, like off the top of your head that you really like.
I don't know. I like everyone.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those. Who has, like, pure. Because I watch a lot. I watch a lot of shite on a lot of smaller channels as well. You know what I mean? I watch a lot of stuff.
You're still involved with it in the sense of a fan.
Yeah. I like watching battles. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
I like cast teams. I like watching. I like watching the comedy stuff more, to be honest.
Yeah. No, good shout.
There's too many.
Yeah, no, that and I normally ask you URL battles, but do you have a favourite URL battle, or seeing as you're more comedy based?
I like. Do you know what? Comedy based for a URL battle, I can't. I always go back and watch that and Ines one.
Oh, of course, man. Yeah.
Ines' first round is perfection in my eyes.
Yeah.
How bad to be, like, that it's hilariously fun.
It's so that shit nutty.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
My god, it is car crash. Oh
yeah, I watch a lot of URL battles as well. I like Calico, to be honest. He seems to fell off a little bit recently, but I like him. Yeah.
Some of his battles are fucking astonishing. He was what an authority on stage that guy was, or is. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he's such a beast. Just two more final ones as well. Your favourite or a band or artist that you really like, musical artists that are in no way hip hop related? Don't say the Beatles.
No. Bloody hell! You hit me with bloody hard questions here. There's fucking thousands of bands.
Yeah. No, okay. One you like then? I appreciate that. Yeah, everyone likes millions of bands, so.
I like ska, reggae type music.
Oh, okay.
But that's I like ska music, special stuff like that. Anyway,
nice.
But
yeah. Finally, I know you're obviously from getting into your battles and stuff. I know you're quite a film fan. Do you have a favourite film?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
No,
Favourite film of all time.
Nice. Good shout. Shout out Kruger as well.
Of course.
But yeah, thank you so much, man. So is how do people reach you? Just Oshea FC on Twitter, is it, or
Oshea FC on Twitter? Yeah, I've got a fan page on Facebook as well. Just Oshea. Yeah, get in touch with me.
And the music is through that as well.
Yeah. Dick Limerick Academy Bandcamp. My solo album will be out shortly as well. But all my old stuff on Dick Limerick Academy Bandcamp. It's all free as well, like, so.
Yeah, of course.
Get that shit.
And is there any like plans for any battles coming up, or I guess that's all under wraps, or?
I don't know. I might be having a battle next weekend. I just don't know what's going on yet. Got to find out from here. We're waiting on a reply off him now. A wrestling themed one. I don't know if I'm meant to say that.
Oh well, I mean, yeah. This won't come out for weeks.
Yeah, sound. But yeah, with pamphlets at this Reading festival. It's something to do with Reading anyway.
Yeah. Yeah,
but he wants me to battle on the Friday and the Saturday, I think, as well. So I've got to see what's happening. I've just battled Matter last week as well, and Willsey for Don't Flop as well.
Where'd you battle Matter?
I battled him on Clash Money last Friday.
Oh, cool. How was that?
It wasn't too bad. It was the same format as me and Scorsese.
Oh, it's on beat. Oh, nice.
There was a 2-minute a cappella round.
Right. Yeah.
Then on beat.
All right. Well, yeah. Thank you so much, Oshea, as ever. Obviously, check out. I would say check out all of these guys' battles, but there's a lot to fucking watch. But it's so good. Like, I really like one of the ones that I've watched a few times of yours is the one where it's like you, Sharon, and Pedro, just like freestyling.
Oh yeah. Pre-party.
Yeah. That was a really, really funny battle. You versus Big J is hilarious as well. I was actually in the crowd for O'Shea versus Blizzard.
Oh, that was
a Blam event, and I'll always remember just before you came on stage, this guy near me shouted, and he shouted right in my ear. He shouted like, "O'Shea is king!" And I was just like, shit.
Good lad.
I was like, fair enough. I was like, I don't disagree. Just,
always been a good fan, him.
Yeah. but check all these battles out. Like, do you just see yourself keep battling? I mean,
I just kept plod along. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm not a rapper or anything, but if I can go and do something at a weekend, I might as well do it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's great that it gets recorded and we get to enjoy it as well. So
exactly.
So yeah, check out all that stuff, and we'll see you next week as well. But yeah, if you want to get in contact, that's battlerapresume@gmail.com or @battlerapresume on Twitter. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Peace. Cheers, man.
I got bars like Wood Street. I'll kick your ass on Wood Street. You want beef, then man, I bring cook meat and turn your piece rally to a Taliban country. I got bars for days, don't usually do grind, and I'll start today. Cause when the fellas on the stand ahead, I can't behave. I'll slap your man so hard that your dad's amazed. 1, 1, 2, 2, the man chat through. They will take you off your feet like a Van Damme move. Do a set Van Damme in about 5 tracks. You don't like that? You can suck my sack. Man chat's what you wanna chat, and I'm not really a bad man and that, but I got a bigger bat than Batman's bat, and Batman's bat is bigger than that. It goes damn. Oh man, you better get with that program. That's in nature to get you like Lohan, and then I flip it in the script like Flow Dan. You're no player, you got no paper, you got no fans, kidding, never mind haters. Always got your whole crew on hiatus, sticky situation like flying paper.